Switch that around. Hi everyone. Hi Lorna. Hi Lee. Hi Carol. Hi Vicky. Hi Jonathan. Welcome everybody. It's pretty well on the zenith of the full moon in Leo. So the timing is really sweet. It's I think we're just a shade past the exactitude of the full moon, which for one who is just a birthday tomorrow, this has been a really intense energy as this has been cooking the last couple of days. I have to say, I should be very pleased as this moves through. Hi Lisa, hi. So I hope you're all doing okay. Kasha, hi. Gosh, these are really intense is such an overused word these days, isn't it? But it's just really felt. I don't know where January went. That went in the blink of an eye. Don't know what happened to January, and it was pretty clear that actually. I think the point of entry into the new year really wasn't until the new moon in January, but that also went past me in a blink of an eye. So we are just in extraordinary times, and I can really feel the energy starting to cook as we're moving towards the equinox. And of course, we've just been through Imbolc. So we're at that middle point. Oh, thanks, Kersha. We're at that middle point between winter solstice and the spring equinox. And what we knew when we went into the solstice energies, that they were holding quite a strong pulse point that was going to take us forward. But obviously forward to the equinox when we will be experiencing Pluto moving signs after a 20-year sojourn in Capricorn, and also Saturn moving into Pisces. So it's just, it's a doozy of a time to be here on planet Earth. We really are in preparation for another big shift. And this full moon has had Uranus square it as well. So U-turns, changes of plans. I can certainly say this weekend I thought I had plans sorted, and everything has been a movable feast. And we have to expect the unexpected. I mean, this really is the mastery for us. How do you stay in center? How do you keep in alignment and just keep with program when there is so much that is shifting and changing around us that we are being asked to surrender to, that we're being asked to just be in the zone, in the flow of. And when I looked at the full moon for today, I also noticed that it was straddling the air and the fire signs. And for those of you on here that have been walking the path of the elemental rose dragons with me, will know that the air and the fire signs sit in the yang stream, in the Pingala stream, in the body, and also in their activity in the earth. And so here we are. There's a lot of activity. The planets have all gone direct, and stuff that we've been incubating, stuff that we've been working with. Hi, Renee. Hi, Jackie. Is starting to give us that nudge of wanting to move forward. So we are all poised in whatever way that may be to take these next steps. And next steps require courage of the heart, that we know that we are coming from an aligned place within us. And that really feels to me what that window from solstice to equinox is offering us. It's offering us nudges to make sure that we have refined and aligned this physical body. What else needs to be purified? What else needs to be looked at in order that we hold as clear a stream of verticality as possible? But it's it's also what else needs to be released. What is there that I'm still holding on to that needs to be released? I mean, curiously for me, as many of you know, I have a background as a couture wedding dress designer. That was 18 years of my work researching the human dream, actually, because I designed and made wedding dresses, very beautiful silk and antique French textile dresses. But I listened to the stories of the women that came through my door and listened to how they had come to meet their beloved, how they had come to meet this special person they were going to journey with. And I got to see the attractor factor, and I got to see the patterns, because I often would meet the whole family and often go to the house as well. So you'd see what was nature, what was nurture, if you like, and what had drawn this couple together to journey. So I've still got fabric that I wasn't able to part with at the time of the closing of my shops. And I still have some of the sample dresses, just a couple of the sample dresses, and just really feeling, maybe this is the time to let go. Maybe this is the time when actually we know that we are traveling this journey as light, and we come into this world alone and we leave alone. We can't take any of our stuff with us. We can only take the condition of our hearts. And curious, isn't it, that Anubis in the Egyptian pantheon weighs the heart against a feather at the time of passing. And we are being called to have hearts that are as light as feathers. So this is the adventure that we are stepping onto, because what we do know is that the energies coming onto the planet, the photonic light coming onto the planet, will intensify as we move through this year. And how clear, how aligned can we be to our soul's calling, our soul's intention? What the soul's choice was in the path as we came into this incarnation, and what the gifts were that we brought with us. Have we finally opened the packet to find the gifts that we came with? Have we honed those gifts, and are we ready to take them out to the world? The world needs love, the world needs nurture, the world needs care, the world needs compassion and kindness. We are in tricky places. And sometime last year, I got to speak with a wonderful woman on a consultation in Canada. And there's something that she said that stuck with me in the conversation. And she said the babies come in with their bundles tucked in their hands. And it is the path to open out the hands to reveal what came in the bundle, what came in the gifts, what came in this unique package that we came in with. Yes, we came in with soul code. We came in with what we had contracted to come and work with in polishing this diamond of the heart. And we embedded into the genetic programming of the family that we chose to birth into, that within the first 5 to 7 years of life was going to set us up with the wound stories or the experiences that we would take out with us, either as challenges or as gifts to take us forward in our lives. So, this is the key point. We all signed up to be here at this point, in this amazing point in Earth's evolution and the storyline. And what did you bring in your bundle? What did you bring as your unique piece that was here to uplift humanity and hold that frequency of that verticality, for you to be a bridge, for you to be able to be a sacred weaver of the higher keys and codes of light, and be able to weave those in with the earth, with Gaia, to assist with this raising of the Gaian fields, which is absolutely the work that each and every one of us is working to co-create at this point, whether consciously or unconsciously. The dialogues that I've had with Gaia while I've been working with the elemental rose dragons, these amazing codes of light that are the substance of everything that is the building blocks of our journey here. And what Gaia said was that she has been waiting for enough of us to be awake, for enough of us to have done the work, internal work, that allows us to be acupuncture points of light, that allows us to be stable enough fields of frequency for her to raise her energy and to fully activate. Because if she had done that prior to our own activation and our own inner work and alignment, so many of us would have been fried, because we wouldn't be able to cope with the upshift in frequency. But I was talking in a group just a couple of weeks ago, and talking about the Venus transit from 2004 to 2012, which really felt to me to be the awakening, the big nudges and the awakening of the re-engagement of our inner divine feminine energy. And it was from 2012 to 2020, in that eight-year cycle, that was about the integration. And this journey from 2020 to 2028, in this Venus cycle, is really about the activation. Are we ready to be able to stand forward? Are we ready to have honed our gifts and our hearts? Are we able to be heart-based, heart-centered? This is the journey that we've done with the Rose Heart Inner Mastery program. It's about, how do we come home? How do we find this place of foundation? How do we keep this flame steady, this steadfastness, in order to be love in action. This is the pathway. It's home within, home to ourselves, but it is about how do we then take those gifts out into the world and be love in action. And, you know, in what I'm experiencing, you know, that's the journey for the rest of the life, is because we have been caught on this horizontal plane. We have been caught into a 3D matrix that is calling us here, not here. And the mastery, it says, you know, is there anything else on the screen of my life that is going to be a trigger, that is going to show me anything else that's going to need to be refined, aligned, and transmuted? And the greatest alchemist of all is love. That is the energy that is going to transform us and transform what we are experiencing. So, having said that, shall we see what the roses have got to offer us as insight? I've often said the roses are pure love. They've got no other agenda other than to way show us home, back home to the heart, back home within ourselves, because we can get distracted. We can get pulled out in stuff, things that are going on, particularly around family or, you know, around close connections. Where is there still a trigger? Where is there still work that we can do, especially within this window? This window to the spring equinox offers us this amazing gift of being able to see, is there anything else I can release? Is there anything else that is done, that is complete for me, that I can gracefully transmute or release, whether that's internal or whether that's in our physical space? So let's see what the roses have got to offer us as insight for this particular next couple of weeks. So we have Rose Bagua 8. And this rose sits in the Bagua, in this box of 9 squares. And the Bagua is the first of the sections in the Rose Oracle that looks at our experience on the horizontal plane. This is in Rose 4. Rose 1, 2, and 3 are in the vertical. They're about clearing and purifying and aligning the vertical. This rose, or this set of roses, goes, and what is my heartfelt expression in these different aspects of my life? I've been refining and aligning, but what do I want to do? How do I want to take this out? And this rose sits as the base rose in the axis of the lovers. And she talks about know thyself until thine own self be true. So this is her message for us at this particular point. Is there anywhere that I am still compromising my energy? Is there anywhere that I'm still compromising my truth? Am I able to dive deep within, to hold this steadiness and connection to the rose heart, this golden heart within this rose, the Rosa Mystica, the mystery of love, is at the center of this rose, and she's wanting to open. She's ready to open. But the question mark is, how anchored are you? How steady is this inner flame? How true are you to the voice that you've come to bring at this point? So I just invite you just to pause for a moment, perhaps put a hand on your higher heart, and just breathe her in and ask that inquiry. Is there anywhere else that I need to look at, whether I am really being authentic, true, and This rose, when she is holding that place of steadiness, is the energy that we take out in all of our relationships. All of the qualities of our relationships are coloured by our ability to be at one, at peace with ourselves. And that enables us to open and blossom in the world. So as I say, just breathe her energy in and just allow her to be felt in your heart. It's like a sacred honouring of self, isn't it? In being able to say, I will honour myself. You know, the foundation of the body, base second chakra, holds self-love, self-value, self-esteem. I am worthy and I am enough. And that's like the base of Maslow's triangle. It's like that has to be in place before we have a steadiness in being able to rise in our connection to our hearts, to the sovereignty of who we are. We're unshakable when we have that foundation right. And that's what she's nudging us to. So let's see what the second rose is. And the second rose is Rosemar 5. And Rosemar 5 is one of the Rosemar roses, the mother of the rose. So these are qualities of the awakened and empowered feminine energy. And this beauty, she says, I am wisdom. This is my pathway into anchoring in the energy of the wise woman, the wise counsel. It's a wisdom pathway, and it speaks of the crone, I guess, the hag, the witch, those three wise energies that make up the sort of the wise counsel, the wise elder. And this rose, you know, she's not alone. She's come with her buddies, right? She is just asking you to honor yourself, honor your wisdom, honor your inner knowing. So you might, again, want to put your hand on your higher heart and just breathe her in and acknowledge, I am wisdom, I am wise counsel. And that actually doesn't matter whether you're, in male body or female body, because we obviously hold both the energies. It's a quality of the feminine. It's a quality of the compassion and the we mindset, as opposed to the I mindset, which is so Aquarian. Oh, lovely, Vicky. So Vicky's saying that Rosemar 5 is sitting with her there on her desk. So, this is just, they are beautiful reminders of honouring, this sacred honouring of self. And as I say, that sacred honouring is at the foundation of it all. If that's not there, we're not rock steady. It means somebody can come along with unkind words and go and blow us over. And we are being asked to be really steady now, to be connected and rooted in to our Earth Star chakras, which are sort of 3 feet or a metre below the earth, and they connect into the crystalline grids. So there is a dialogue that goes on between our base and second chakra and the Earth Star, because the Earth Star holds the coding for our physical incarnational script this lifetime, where we chose to birth on the planet and what was going on within the household in that experience. So let's see what the third rose is. And the third rose is rose 10. And this rose 10 is from the original rose set, the first 11 roses that came through in 210. And this rose sits on the navel chakra. And she also holds a connection between mother and child. This is very much about the connection with mother. The umbilical cord running from the navel connects into the placenta of the mother. 70% of our emotional storyline came over the placenta of the mother into our system when we were in utero. And you can see this is, she's very clear on the outside. So it all looks fine on the outside, right? It all looks like it's sorted. But the inside becomes much more complicated, and there is a little petal right across the heart of this rose. So what it's saying is that there is often a much more complex patterning around our relation to the mother. Now that can be our birth mother, it could be to the great mother, it could be to Mother Earth. It is the mother principle that is added in here. So this rose is saying, you know, what else is there that you might want to look at around mothering? Because sometimes it's our relationship to mothering. You know, patterns come down the line. We often mother as we were mothered, unless we come in with the remit that allows us to turn 180 degrees. For me, if I look at my patterning very much came from my mother, and my pattern of mothering came from my mother. But if I look at my daughter, who's turned it 180 degrees, it's like the pattern interrupt that changes the script. And somewhere in the genetic lineage, there will be somebody who is a pattern interrupt that came to say, this far and no further. So this rose is really inquiring, is there anything else around your relationship to mother or mothering, or even mothering yourself? And if we connect that into self-care, and self-love, self-value, self-esteem, there may be something in here that could invite you to another level of healing or releasing or letting go of any old script that may be around your worthiness to be loved. Maybe that was part of the patterning that came from your mother. This rose, you can see, has come with a bud. And this bud holds all the potential for the next bloom. So you can start to see the generational piece that is running in this particular rose as well. And as I say, on the rose grid, the chakra grid that was with rose 1, this rose sits on the navel chakra. Now that means that she's also connected into the small and large intestine. So she's, she is all about what are we able to absorb? Are we able to absorb the nutrients out of our food? Are we able to digest life and take the good substances that our bodies need out of it? So these are our 3 roses that are inviting us to another level of just look-see. What might these have that they're offering you another place of refine and align as we move through to the equinox? So we have Rose Bagua 8. Know thyself until thine own self be true. And that this is the foundation to all of our relationships. If we are reacting from pattern, then, or we don't speak, for instance, People, you know, the other never knows what we're truly feeling about anything. So therefore there is an untruth in the relationship. But if we take the time when we get triggered, for instance, to say, what's that really bringing up in me? And then we can shift this anchoring within the core of this rose, into the heart of this rose, which allows us to effortlessly open up and share with those that come along our path. Rose Mar 5, I am wisdom. This isn't, you know, an I am statement asks for the quality behind it to be embodied. So she's calling you to embody. I am wisdom. I trust my gut instinct. I trust my gut knowing. I trust my intuition, my inner tutor. This is really powerful in the journey. And Rose 10, who is inviting us to another look at the pathway of mother and mothering, perhaps reflecting on where we didn't do it too well, and perhaps reflecting on the fact that we also need to be our own best mother, you know, when that wasn't done as well as it might have been. But also asking and opening up for that transformation, for that healing, because this is the blessing of this rose, is she offers the healing. I don't know whether any of you have heard of something called the Peshotti gland, which is at the navel. This rose sits at the navel. And that is one of the most powerful places where we can use rose oil, and we can use various other oils actually, that will be carried right round the system very, very quickly, because that's where what happened with the nutrients that came over the umbilical cord. They were connected to the Peshotti gland, and that offered extra healing. So those are our 3 roses. And I just invite you to breathe them in. We've got Grandfather Sage, the wisdom, the masculine wisdom energy here, and Grandmother, and the deep rose quartz earth bowl. These were the ones that wanted to come this evening, clearly to ensure that we were anchored, we were rooted, grounded. These are powerful energies, the weave between the deep, deep heart of Leo, the strength of Leo, and the movement that we are experiencing now into the age of Aquarius. And I know several people on here this evening are Aquarians, like me. But weaving grandmother, apophyllite, and grandfather, sage, with the depth. Oh, you're welcome, Jonathan. Wonderful. Super. Thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy these full moon energies. I know we are in for a doozy of a moon coming up on the next new moon. So, you know, we're on super powerful times, and each one of these new and full moons is offering us another pulse point on our journey. And if we can be willing and receptive to the guidance, the nudges that we are getting from the universe to keep us on track, keep us aligned with this highest path of our soul's evolution at this time. So I'm so grateful. Thank you for joining me. Have a lovely evening, and bye for now. Bye-bye.